Snacks.
What's going on, Loading Snacks universe? Jokes here, and it is Wrestle Wednesday. Oh yeah, and the topic for this week, WWE Hell in a Cell. So another pay-per-view getting ready to come up. I thought this would be a perfect time to give you what I think is my top 5 moments from Hell in a Cells from the past. Now, as I go through my top 5, you may notice kind of a similarity between some of the matches. Let's see if you can figure out what that is as we go through them. So let's start with number 5. And that is the 6-man Hell in a Cell match between The Rock, Triple H, Stone Cold, Rikishi, The Undertaker, and Kurt Angle. The reason why this is one of my favorites, this is actually the first time they had a 6-man Hell in a Cell match. So you can imagine the chaos of Hell in a Cell with just 2 people, but let's add in another 4 people. And not only these 4 people, these 6 people in total, like the likes of Stone Cold, The Undertaker, The Rock, I mean, what could possibly go wrong? One of the big moments from this match, of course, it's a Hell in a Cell match. Someone got thrown off the top of the cage. That person happened to be Rikishi. Undertaker actually chokeslammed him from the top of the cage onto a truck with like wood pellets, so he had a little cushion fall, but needless to say, it was a horrible scene just looking at it for it. Moving on. Number 4 is Shane McMahon versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania 32. Now, with Shane McMahon, pretty much involved with almost any match that he's in, something crazy is going to occur. And the craziness, of course, Shane jumping off top of Hell in a Cell. Undertaker was laying on one of the announce tables, like passed out, couldn't get up. So Shane decided to take the leap of faith. And he jumped, tried to drop the elbow. The Undertaker moved. So you could only imagine how that actually ended up. Shane McMahon pretty much was incapacitated after that. It's 20 feet high. The cage is not no short little fall. The man had the wind knocked out of him, bruised ribs, he punctured something. It was a whole bunch of stuff that ended up being wrong with him. And he was off television for like a good couple of weeks. Needless to say, The Undertaker did win that match. Sorry, Shane, but your misfortune was our pleasure. Next up, Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels HBK at Bad Blood 1997. Now, for the moment that happened during this match, believe it or not, it actually didn't necessarily involve Undertaker and HBK. It actually involved Undertaker and Kane. This was actually Kane's debut, and at the time, the WWF. During that period, The Undertaker was pretty much the biggest guy. There was no one that would come up to him, stand face to face, eye to eye with him, until this guy came and literally was the same height as The Undertaker, looking him in the eye dead in the match. So before the match ended, the lights went out. Undertaker was getting ready to win the match. Kane's music hits, comes out to the ring, and of course he has Paul Bearer with him. And you know there's a long history between The Undertaker and Paul Bearer, so to see Paul Bearer with somebody else kind of threw The Undertaker for a loop. And of course with that match, Shawn Michaels did win because of the interference, but at the same time, that was one of the most memorable debuts that WWF had ever had at that point in time. Going on to number 2, King of the Ring, 1998, Mankind versus The Undertaker. Now, this Hell in a Cell match probably is one of the most memorable Hell in a Cell matches, mostly because of Mankind himself. Undertaker threw him off top of Hell in a Cell, but it wasn't just like a little baby push, accidental fall. He completely just shoved him off the top of the cage. And I don't know if the intention was for him to actually land on the announce table or if there was any thought of that. So when he threw him off and he landed on the announce table, it was like the first time anything like that had actually been seen. And of course, you know, Mick Foley is absolutely hardcore to the fullest. So for him to just probably on a whim say, Taker, throw me off the cage, like, I wonder how Taker felt, you know, coming out of character for a second. This man wants me to throw him off the top of this 20-foot cage. What possibly could go wrong? But for the sake of the fans, he threw him off the top of the cage, and the rest of that is history. Undertaker did win that match too, by the way. Just so you guys know that. Now, finally, wrapping up the top 5 with my number 1, actually also includes Mick Foley again. Cactus Jack versus Triple H. No Way Out 2000. Title versus career. So in this match, Cactus Jack, Mick Foley, puts his career on the line versus Triple H for the WWF Championship. For this match, Mick Foley not only went off the cage from the top, he actually went off twice. First time wasn't as bad. He was climbing the side of the Hell in a Cell cage, and Triple H hit him with the 2x4 wrap with barbed wire, and he just fell and went through the announce table. Now, he wasn't completely up the cage, so you didn't get that full-on effect, but needless to say, he fell from maybe 15 feet in the air, which is still pretty high. But the real moment came when they were on top of the cage. Triple H still had the 2x4 with barbed wire. Cactus Jack got it back from him, lit it on fire, and he was going to work on Triple H. Triple H unfortunately reversed it, flipped Mick Foley over, and he actually went through the top of the cage straight to the mat and put a hole in the mat. It broke. And you should have seen the look on Triple H's face, like, did I just kill Mick Foley right now? Like, it was, no one expected it. The audience just absolutely lost it when he went through. Sadly, Mick Foley did lose that match. So that was the end of the in-ring career for Mick Foley. But of course, Mick Foley is a legend, and he did come back and do some little part-time work and things, but it was good to see him. Now, did you figure out kind of what the similarity between a lot of those matches were? Did you figure it out, Gage?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. Sacco.
So actually two. Mankind and The Undertaker.
Yeah.
Now, The Undertaker, there's been a roughly about 36 Hell in a Cell matches. Undertaker was in 14 of them. Almost half of all the Hell in a Cell matches. My man has, let's say, a very, very high experience when it comes time for the Hell in a Cell match. Will we see him in another Hell in a Cell match? I don't think so. But Undertaker, Mick Foley, you two have surely left your mark on the Hell in a Cell match. What did you guys think of my top 5 for these Hell in a Cell matches? Did I miss something? Something that you would add into it? Do me a favor, drop it down in the comments. Maybe I'll agree. Maybe we can agree to disagree. But the only way for you to know, make sure also like, share, and subscribe to the Loading Snacks channel. Because if you like the Wrestling Wednesday content, we're going to keep it coming to you. But until then, this is Jokes. I'll catch you later.